Hello, it's Vishini again on the task line. It's been a minute. It's my first video of 2026. I'm very nervous. I haven't been behind the camera for a long time. Some of you guys may be wondering, oh, the 5 viewers who are always back on this channel. My laptop broke. It's been a busy couple of months, but I've been following the football world in the background. So, with the World Cup starting, it's match day -1 tomorrow, or today rather, first game tomorrow. So I thought maybe I should drop a video just as a teaser, to give my thoughts on or my predictions rather, on the starting lineup, and just give the football to have our own opinion on the channel in regards to our chances going through, and what we think may be a realistic picture. It's the same fixture 16 years ago, 2010, when we hosted the World Cup, Mexico versus South Africa. But this time around, Mexico is playing home. You know, they have the 12th man, 87,000 or 90 plus thousand fans are going to be cheering. The Mexican wave is just going to be going through. So we can't wait. We've been doing a countdown ever since, offline, not on the channel. But I thought I should drop a video. I thought I should start there and just giving you an update in regards to where we've been. And yeah, this is the first of many, and I'll be covering all the South African games. Minimum is three. If they go through to last 16 and last 32 first and the last 16, we should have a bonus, at least two games that we can talk about. So before I go to my predictions in terms of the starting lineup, I just want to highlight who do we have in store before we go out of the group. So we have Mexico as the host. They didn't qualify automatically since they are hosting the tournament with Canada and USA. Automatically, they qualified for the World Cup. That spot was already theirs. And we have we have South Korea in the group, and we have Czechia. Now, in terms of FIFA rankings, because that's one part I want to talk about as well in the video, is okay. Let's start with Mexico as the host. They are the highest in the group, in Group A. So we have them at number 15. Then second, we have, I believe it's South Korea. I think they're in the top 20. I forgot. I think number 23, 30, somewhere there. Then we have Czechia, I think number 41. If not 45, then we have lastly us, which is number 60 in terms of the FIFA ranking. So according to experts in Europe who are not familiar with local football, PSL and all these guys, they're not giving us a chance. They're not really giving us any maybe that chance of thinking we can either draw or win against Mexico, have a chance against South Korea. We've never played them before, to my recollection, and at the very same time against Czechia. But in my opinion, the rankings, it's like a lately, for me, in my opinion, right? It's like an elite kind of sport these days, where to get into at least to the top 50, because if you can look at South Africa in the last 4 years since Bruce has been in charge, yeah, there's been massive improvements. And in the last tournaments, 24 AFCON, we went all the way to the semi-finals. In the 26 or 25 slash of AFCON, we went all the way to the last 16, and we were one of the favorites, by the way. We played against one of the best. I think for me, the only concern, if I were to focus on South Africa, which I didn't want to go in at the moment, is the preparations. But I want to stick on this topic, Yama rankings, because this is where a lot of people lose it. This is why it's such a hoo-ha. And based on research, if you were to check in terms of gameplay, how Mexico plays, how Czechia plays, how South Korea plays, there's not much of a gap between the three teams, number one. So, yes, there's star names like Mexico has Jimenez. I think this guy's from Fulham. And this young guy from Mora is like a Rilebo Mufokeng is 17, is the youngest. He plays in the Mexican league. And most of the Mexican players are in the local league at the same time. There's another thing that probably a lot of people have missed, apart from them having the highest ranking in our group. Czechia as well. There's I think Peter Schick. I think one or two guys who plays in the Premier League. Most of the guys play in Europe. Yes. Then you come to South Korea. Sang Sung Hong Min Son obviously plays for LX Galaxy, formerly of Tottenham, and also this guy Hin Jung. I think he's Min Jung Koo or some. I forgot the name. So forgive me. You correct me in the comments. Um, he's in the he plays for Bayern Munich, but he's always on the bench. So you get the where I'm going. So they don't all these teams have one or two players that they rely on. Though. So as a team, I don't think they're as solid as where South Africa is going at the moment. I think if you have to look at teams where I mean in economics they'll tell you about emerging markets, teams to look out for in the next maybe 5-10 years or so. Like Morocco, where they are now, they were once like that. They were promising, they were changing things. Their football started to change. They started to take their football seriously, and look at where they are. In the last World Cup, they performed well. South Africa is one of those names if you have to drop in the hat, and they are using homegrown players. They're using systems that are not custom in a sense where you use your players who are born and bred in Europe who play for the strongest leagues in the world. Now it's about good coaching. Now it's about team dynamics. Now it's about playing at the highest level, whether it's in Africa, in your local clubs, performing well in your national teams, and improving certain structures within the teams. And you won't see those mechanics in the rankings. So there's a lot of things that a lot of pundits, experts, and legends who I think have missed that. And on paper, they just look at the nationalities. This is Mexico, South Korea, because they have been campaigners in the World Cup for a long time. We haven't been there. We haven't qualified well since 2002, I believe. I think the last time we've qualified ourselves was then. So 2010 was only because we were hosts as well. So they're using that information to base their opinion on how we are going to approach the match between Mexico and South Africa, which is the opening game. So the whole world, close to 1.1 billion, will be watching. And those are the things they will be surprised. That's why I'm giving my team or South Africa a chance of winning, if not a draw. I don't think it's going to be a big gap as much as they're playing away from home. And that's the big topics for me that I'm wishing the guys they can actually live up to certain expectations, because this is a big opportunity to sell themselves. As far as the second and third game, I think it would have calmed down and they would have been able to give themselves a good account of themselves. But also the pundits have missed. That is, majority of those players are from Sundowns, and they've already played in the Club World Cup, which for me has given them enough experience and better experience, because there were more club members who are not part of this World Cup. In a club format, you stay longer within certain members within your team, so it gives you an edge. So to test yourselves against the best. We played against Dortmund, which is Sundowns at that moment, and they gave a good showcase of South African football, how far it is and how far it can go. And Europeans were surprised because we played almost like them, but we play our own way, all football flair, style, and very attractive, and it produces goals. So that's most of the information you won't get out there today, and that's the interesting part. So with adding Paris players and certain players across Europe who give us the edge, like having Foster there gives us a threat, having Abu Ocon gives us a threat, in terms of the opposition, because they're more familiar faces to the rest of the world, and obviously Umbogazi and this guy Okanya Oluwethu Makanya, who plays in the US. So those are the things, a mixture of things that might give us an edge because both those guys play in the MLS, which is now their home turf. America's is something, it's an environment they are quite familiar with. So there are things that favor us because also this young team, some of them are promising in terms of moving forward or getting up in actually being noticed by the best teams in the world. So those are a few things, in my opinion, that a lot of people have missed, and they think this is the same South Africa 16 years ago. So a lot of people are going to get shocked. So if you're betting, for me, 20 rand, my brother, and pay to put it on South Africa, and they just hide the ticket under your bed or your couch there. You'll thank me later. Now, as a parting shot, I want to go into my predictions in terms of how the preparations have gone. There's smaller clips that we've saw in terms of how Bruce is thinking in regards to his lineup. Obviously, this is a first game. It's very important in regards to getting a result. If we can't win it, obviously try to get a draw and try to win your second games, because if you can get 3 points at least, don't concede too many goals, have a good GT, you have chances of qualifying for the last 32, which in our books as South Africans would be a big win. So obviously I'll start with Ronan Williams at the back as our number one goalkeeper. Aubrey, I hope he's fit. I'll start him at left back. I'll start with Mogaz at left central back. I'll start Oluwethu Makanya. Like to see how that partnership can work. Then obviously I'll have Kuliso Mudau at right back. Then I'll have one pivot, which is Ustole as a pivot. Then I'll have a double, almost like a double CM, which is who Tebogo Mokoena and Jaden Adams. Then on the sides, I'll put in Apollos, and I'll have the young, he excites me, this guy, Tapelo Maseko, and I'll have Lyle Foster in front. Obviously, this is more pragmatic, but it's also a chance for us to, I posted on my Twitter page, and a lot of guys were like, there's not enough creativity. So I'm thinking that will help us with interchange, where Adams can change a bit more, and obviously Stole and Mukwena protecting our defense, because we know we can use Umdao no Modiba as more of creative threats in terms of inverting, and so it protects us at the same time. It gives us that attacking edge, and we look for Umaseko and Apollos to unlock. Then obviously Foster is just hanging there, either dropping in deep or making those blind runs, because he's more of a mobile striker and he can finish when he gets the chance. So we're not too open, for me, in my opinion, if we use that formation. And Hotman, which is Adams, is improved. His game is improved. So I think he can give us those decisive passes. Mukwena also advancing forward. We saw against the final against Rabat. So he can actually have that goal threat. Then maybe second half we can bring in a 10 between Uzwani and Mofukeng, so that maybe how the game progresses. Because for me, in my opinion, using this lineup is we just want to gauge how Mexico is going to approach the game in terms of how they want to implement their attacking threat. So once we've read them well, maybe now we can actually put in a 10, depending on if we want to use a more experienced 10 like Uthemba Zwane, or a young threat like Mofukeng, and have more decisive passes. If they play an open game, I'll be honest with you, with this formation, we're going to eat. Definitely we have a goal there. Because these Mexicans are not expecting us to play a possession football. I saw one guy telling me that obviously Mexico is going to have more of the possession. Yeah, if they're thinking that it's because maybe it's a home game, but they don't know that we can absorb that pressure, and that's what we're looking for. So yes, they press high to a certain degree, but they're not a ball possession team. So for me, I'm not worried. I'm just also the only time I'll be worried is because of the last 5 games we've been struggling to get a win. I think it's because he's been experimenting a lot. He's been playing against teams that are more implementing a low block, and we haven't been tested. That's why we've been making mistakes at the back. But I hope the guys are switched on. If we click at the right time, for me, just to leave it there. I think if you have to give you a prediction without being naive, 1-1 or 1-0 to South Africa. And that's where I'm going, that's where my money is going. So that's my opinion, that's my first video of 2026, my prediction. If it happens to come to your side, let me what you think. Tell your boy what you think. This is your boy Machine again. I'll see you on the next video. Sharp, sharp.